So, ladies, if you have married a man with a young child or children, you have become a bonus mom. Yeah, I know I have used the word stepmom before and stepdad and all that, and I really don't necessarily like it. I never really did. But bonus mom sounds great. This means you should already. This means you should already have been operating. I don't know if that's the right word, but operating as a plus or a bonus in the lives of his children, as though they came from your womb. Yeah, because you knew what you were walking into. And blended families can be a little bit special sometimes, but it's always a great thing to be able to meet, children that you are going to be a bonus mom to. I don't really know too many instances where, someone just kind of, hey, this is, the lady that I'm gonna be marrying, babies. I don't really know too many instances where men have just done that sporadically. I'm sure it happens somewhere, but it should be a situation where a woman has had time to at least meet and be around and spend time with the children, and get to really build that rapport and have a relationship with the children as well, because that's important. It's important. And if the child or children are adult age and no longer living in the home, and you have met them and this is past the rapport stages, there should already be that set in stone. But when they are visiting the home at this point, the environment should be welcoming and not awkward. You don't want the environment of children, whether it's adult children or little children, to be awkward. It should be a flow. It should be a flow. Any woman who is, blessed God, help me with my words, Holy Spirit. Any woman who has placed herself in a position of accepting being a wife to a man should understand the entirety of that responsibility. And as I mentioned before, if there are children involved, be it small or adult, you knew what you were walking into. So there should be no hesitation in fully occupying that position as that, and having a loving and a caring attitude and demeanor with that. Going into hostings and gatherings, and this is in the home, all right? It says uphold him in the best light, and sometimes that can be kind of hard if you're angry, if you've had a little spat or something. But even if you are upset with him, ladies, men too, this is not one-sided once again. But ladies, you know how we can get sometimes like the attitude phase. Like, this is not something that you should be bringing to the forefront of gatherings when you've invited people to the home, or even if someone just shows up. I don't know too many people who just allow people to just show up at their house, but sometimes it might be an exception. You know what I mean? And you don't have that kind of demeanor. Don't embarrass your husband by carrying yourself in that way with company. And it says company, including family, should not know about in-house disagreements. So if you have had a spat, if you have had something, go on, the company should not know that. They should know that unless it's a situation to where there is major disrespect, there is abuse or something of that nature, that's completely different. There are different circumstances, but a spat, a disagreement, no, not at all. And don't cancel something that was supposed to happen. Don't cancel, a hosting or a gathering just because you got mad. Well, I'm not doing this now. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not the attitude to have, okay, ladies? I'm just being real, and I haven't always had this perspective, trust me. But it's not, so don't do that. So don't cancel an engagement just because you've gotten angry or frustrated, okay? And we're easing into outside the home, okay? Appearances. It says whether the setting is intimate, whether it's a business meeting, or if the venue is large, let your husband be the man and keep the masculine energy in his hands. Don't take the reins of that. Don't take the reins of that. Be careful of your facial and body language. And you know what I mean, ladies. You can give looks. We can give looks. And doing something like that in public, especially at an event, in a meeting, even if it's an intimate discussion with you and your spouse and some other people, you don't bring that in those situations. That's embarrassing. It's unprofessional. It's not godly, and it's not ladylike. So let's not do that. Don't cause unwanted or unneeded embarrassment, because trust me, people are paying attention. It says don't overtalk your husband or interrupt a conversation that is taking place just because you want to make a point or you feel like you need to interject right then. Wait until a sentence has been completed, a discussion has been completed, whatever the case may be. Wait, and then speak your piece, unless somebody invite you in to interject, but don't overtalk him or other people in the conversation. It says wait to speak or for someone else, maybe him or whomever, to ask your view, or just wait until his or whomever is speaking has completed their sentence. And check your tone on certain things. Check your tone. Oh Jesus, what movie was that? Was it Friday? Not Friday. Players Club. Something, and check your tone. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But check your tone. And don't allow someone to bring negative talk about him to you publicly that you entertain. I think I've lightweight spoke on this before. Don't do it. And men, this is the same thing. Don't entertain that. A lot of people are trying to test you to see if you're going to stand up for whomever it is that you claim and that you love. So if someone brings something to you and you feed into it instead of defending the person, instead of standing up for the person, then they're knowing like, aha, that's a weakness. That's a weakness. I'm going to be quite honest. It's a weakness. And people will feed on that weakness. And they will begin to throw things at you and throw things at you, throw things at you and throw things at you. And they will test you constantly about your partner. I promise you. I've seen it done. So be one to stand up for whomever it is. And do not entertain the foolishness. If you need to speak with someone about it, if you need to speak with him or her about it, do it privately. But keep your poker face in public. People will respect it. Trust me. It says, even if something may be true and it hurts and angers you, keep your poker face. If you're alone and if you're around others, respectfully rebuke and dismiss it. Respectfully rebuke and dismiss it. Because some people will try to be messy and bring it to you in front of people. Respectfully rebuke it and dismiss it. And I'm going off into my proverb. Proverbs 12 and 4.